here. So I'm gonna be honest right now. This is gonna be more like a test right now that I'm doing because I had some issues yesterday. I'm not sure, but of course we're not any we don't have a shortage of liners, of course, and it looks like we have liners along some of the same trajectory in terms of economics. Looks like Amazon is going to be doing some layoffs, and it looks like um, we also have India is preparing an overseas mobility bill to train their young people. So, I honestly, I think, good morning, Marcy T, prayer warrior. Good morning. So I'm just coming in just for a brief second after yesterday's nonsense. I mean, I'm just trying to, you know, just see what the traction is. Is there traction? What in the world is going on? But yeah, so we have, of course, Trump is in what I consider the South Pacific. He's in South Korea, I believe. So yesterday, I believe it was Japan. He met with their prime minister. And then I think there's a meeting today that he's involved in with South Korea. So we'll just have to see. Good morning. Realize, realize, realize. I'm going to be honest, guys. I have no idea what happened yesterday. I'm not even sure if it's related to the actual, if it's a grid kind of situation, if it's a network situation. But I just I can't be sure of what's going on. It's just, but here again, I don't believe that censorship is done. I mean, I think anybody that would subscribe to that, you know I think that would be a little bit naive. So I'm not convinced, that they're done with all that, because if you go against the narrative, if you go against the grain, and if you don't agree with certain people, then you're not. Good morning, realize, 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 as well as Marcy T. Thank you guys so much for coming in. If you speak against, dare I say, the power, then I think you're going to be subject to, because there's a global agenda, and that's what I'm trying to, you know, I'm trying to not just maintain that, but we can't forget that. We can't forget that there's a global agenda. So, and to me, I can't do these illusions. I can't do this left right dialectic stuff. I can't do that. And there are other content creators out there that are still being, and they're still self-censoring. I said self-censoring is also a psychological, there's psychological abuse when you're dealing with self-censorship as well. So I'm just saying, it is what it is and it's not what it's not. So I'm just, okay, enough of that. So if I can today, I will come back in. If I can today, I will come back in and bring you that overseas mobility bill. And but see, this is the issue, and this is kind of what I'm on about. I just find it interesting that globally, there's so many more initiatives for people, for other, for quote immigrants, end quote immigrants coming to the U.S. But what in the world is the U.S. doing to for us to for the US student, whether you don't have to be an MIT student, what are we doing to prepare those students for to be competitive? I mean, I'm just saying, what are we doing? What have we done? I mean, I get that there's said things in these school districts and in the school systems and whatnot, but I'm going to tell you, places like India, they've always been ahead of I don't want to say the curb. They've always been ahead. Um, if you just look at some things, like if you just look at some of the national spelling bees, most of those winners have been of, Indian background. And I'm saying, I'm just saying, I'm making an observation here. Um, I'm just saying, it just seems like the countries, and I've been to other nations, and I'm saying you have people that are more, they have a lot less. They grow up with a lot less, and they're much more content. I've seen people happier in this life with a lot less, is what I'm saying. Anarchy Television is here. Thank you so much for coming in. So yeah, Anarchy, I'm just I'm doing the, I'm just it just seems like I'm just hanging out right now because I don't know what in the world might go on. So dare I say, please tap the screen. Uh, so yeah, I'm just saying, I just, you know, I don't know. I just think that we've just kind of dumbed things down to such a level, to such an unprecedented level that we are, that our masses are just completely demoralized, and if you and we were shout out to the class of COVID-19. If you promoted any type of literacy, or if you said, hey, go out here and read things for yourself, and I will always encourage you to do that on this channel, I will. I mean, you're not here. I'm not here to be your leader. You know, this, you may take it with a grain of salt, take it as guidance, but do something for yourself, because what you don't know can hurt you. And that's always been, that's not